Hello and welcome to Unrest Digest. I'm sorry about this. Well, this little thing here, this little stretch of light. I believe it's like a lens flare, like J.J. Abrams puts in a lot of his films. I could cut it out. I mean, I could get really close to the camera, but I know you don't want to see my ugly mug anyway. But hopefully it does die down when the sun goes down. Not like like the Arctic Monkey song. Anyway, that's not the point. Excuse me. I was looking for some news to get into today. I couldn't think of anything that's happening right now. It's a slow news day again, unless I'm completely missing stuff. So I thought, let me just type in a few things and see what comes up. So I had a little look around, couldn't really see much. And I thought, is that died suddenly phenomena still going on? So I haven't heard much about it. Obviously, they had that film that came out, and a lot of people have seen it. I haven't seen it. I've seen clips of it. I haven't really looked into it. If you don't know, it's a bunch of coroners, undertakers, some other kinds of scientists, and people investigating the phenomena of died suddenly. A lot of people in the news have been dying suddenly. For example, top headline here: girl 5 died suddenly at home after complaining of tummy bug. I don't believe that's normal. In fact, apparently using the Wayback Machine, I don't know how you do that, or even searching. I think you can even do it on Google. You can go back and you can look for old headlines and stuff that was in the news as far back as, I don't know, since the internet began, I believe. Possibly, I don't know how far back it goes. But this wasn't like a really, like, this did come up in the past, but it was nowhere near as common as it is now in the past couple of years. So I typed in died suddenly to see if there's anything new that's come up. And obviously I read that was the first headline. Unfortunately for that little girl, it's suffering from a sickness bug. I don't know what sickness bug can cause someone to die suddenly, and I would be quite worried if if it was contagious. I'm sure it would be a lot more worrying than just like a one-off event. If it's a stomach bugs, as we all know, are catching. And then it says there's 3 news stories grouped together. I've not said anything to do with aeroplanes, flights, or anything to do with this. It just has 3 stories linked together, and I'll read you these. Actually, it says at the top of these 3 grouped articles, news about flight attendant. I've never asked anything about flight attendant. All I put was died suddenly. We have LBC, so that's in England. Cabin crew member 24 died suddenly after fainting as plane landed at Stansted Airport. Right? Then we have NZ Herald, so I believe that's New Zealand. I could be wrong. I don't know exactly. Air Albania flight attendant 24 dies suddenly after plane lands. Okay. Then we have Cambridge News, flight attendant 24 dies suddenly after plane landed at Stansted. Actually, sorry, that's the same as the first news story, to be fair. So I've completely ruined this. But if I then click on excuse me, if I then click on the article, which is going to show me loads of different news articles of plane attendants. Let me just quickly see. We have, no, unless this is the same person, then I'm going to look like a right idiot. Well, all of them were 24, so I believe this might actually be the same story. Oh, the final Instagram posts of the stewardess 24 who died suddenly at Stansted Airport. Okay, this is all articles to do with the same one. Okay, well, they got me there. So you got to be careful for these things, because you can fall into the same kind of trap I did. Like, I was thinking, is there some kind of weird conspiracy that why is Google trying to show me flight attendants and them dying suddenly? So we can rule that out, okay? So there isn't some weird conspiracy behind flight attendants dying suddenly. However, there obviously is one. And underneath that, we have John Thompson, 74, died suddenly during luxury holiday in Hawaii. I mean, 74. That happens, unfortunately. Let's see if the same news articles came up as what I saw on my phone. I'm just going to read you these headlines. Obviously, reading into them, you can find out different things. If you want to sort of add things together and say this is proof of anything, it's not proof of anything. That's the issue, which is why I didn't really watch the film Die Suddenly, because I know what they're trying to suggest. The reason is of them all dying suddenly. It's to do with something that, and I don't want to be jumping to conclusions when it comes to that stuff. So maybe I should have watched it. Maybe I will watch it. maybe I'll have some more evidence to sort of bring to the, maybe because obviously this is a subject that I am going to be continuously talking about, and sometimes I may get passionate about it. But I need to sort of re-update myself with some of the stuff, because the amount of times that I've heard so many of these stories and so many weird coincidences, and I've been like, oh, I just want to get on camera and scream at somebody, just grab someone and be like, they're killing us. But like, that's not going to convince anyone, except convince them that you're crazy. You need to slowly seed them information or ask them things about why is the death toll gone up so much in this country, that country, in this country. If I can think of the right term, I will search up for the second half of this video, or maybe I'll do another video actually on the recent increase in mortality across many different countries. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Much loved dads die suddenly weeks after fall from ladder. No, I'm not laughing at the person dying from falling off a ladder, but this is another example of what you have to. You can read through this like I've just done and go, died suddenly. 3 flight attendants died suddenly. Yeah, and one of these guys fell off a ladder, and that's probably why he died. I don't know. I don't think that's quite sudden, unless he seemed okay and then just passed. Or maybe he died suddenly on the ladder. I don't know. I haven't read the article. Maybe would you? I don't know if you want me to read the article. Did Ryan Keeler die suddenly from vaccine SADS? Ooh, whoops! I didn't mean to read that. Hopefully YouTube doesn't ban me for that. Oh, hang on. This is one I want to read. The sudden rise of the die suddenly COVID conspiracy theory. This is what I thought would come up right at the top to try and dissuade people from falling into this little trap that I almost did, and that many have in the past, especially with the die suddenly video. I do want to quickly read this one. It's from Tech ARP. I tried to look at them on NewsGuard to see what they rated them out of 100 to see if they were NewsGuard certified. Right after news broke, Ryan Keeler died suddenly. People immediately claimed that the 17-year-old former captain, 17, jeez, the Wild Boars football team that was rescued from a flooded Thai cave. What the? There's a lot more going on. They died from V word, SADS, which is sudden adult death syndrome, which is a new phenomenon that has come up. SADS, they call it SADS. Oh look, another young and healthy athlete that just dies. Hashtag die suddenly. Wake up America. Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of those appear on Facebook quite often. Then I could read loads of those sort of similar comments and stuff. He was found dead in bed. This is what I wanted to know first. People immediately claimed that 17-year-old, was rescued from a flooded Thai cave. If the guy, I don't know what happened here, but like, if he was being rescued from a cave in Thailand and dies, I don't know why you would immediately jump to have something to do with the magical V word. Maybe it had something to do with it's missed out so much. Anyway, reading on. The Clark County Coroner's Office listed his time of death of 4:05 p.m. Maybe I have some kind of like, what's it called? The words fly off the page. Dyslexia, some kind of reading dyslexia. I'm going to read everything back to front. And said that the cause and manner of Ryan Keeler's death were pending, as blood toxicology results can take several weeks. Las Vegas, this is starting to get a bit boring, isn't it? I want to see how he died and what he died of. It was supposed to be a quick read. Ryan never publicly announced his COVID status, his vaccination status, but it's likely that he was likely he was. V-worded against C-word, C9. I don't know what the rules are these days on YouTube. Okay, he cannot possibly be suffering because they appear within hours or days, not months later. So what? I thought there wasn't any issues at all. Spike proteins produced by COVID-19 V-words also do not stick around for months. Do they not? Do we have long-term studies on this? Do we have any sites, in fact? How long do they last? I thought they didn't stray from the arm. It's just like, there's different news that comes out debunking old news and other stuff that was conspiracy that's now true. But like so many different news articles and aggregators of information aren't all up to date with each other, and it's hard to tell because a lot of the new news that is out, who knows what is real and what isn't. So, like for example, in the past, when this is for example, when people were debating how many doses of the mRNA, I'm not even going to try and say that, of the C word, of the COVID vaccines. I'm just going to bloody say it. This is getting downranked anyway, just for using those buzzwords. Oh, I've had 2. I'm safe and healthy now. And someone's like, well, I've had 3. And they were like, but well, I'm just having 2. They recommended me to have 2. And they were like, no. The other person was like, no, I've had 3. You're a conspiracy theorist for saying that we only need to have 2. And there were the arguments and debates like, no, 2, no 3. Like, you're crazy to have 2. You're crazy to have 3. You're a conspiracy because there's conspiracy theorists, because there's different people had seen different news, and plus people are in different countries. Every country has done this differently. Some countries recommended to have only 2, I believe. And some said just update them on a yearly basis or on a month, 3 monthly or whatever it is. And some countries have taken them off the shelves, or for certain age groups have taken them away. Anyway, claims of athlete, this is just more facts apparently. I'm not sure how true these facts are or whether or not to trust this website. But you get the kind of gist of that. It doesn't say anything about this guy and why he was in the Thai cave. How it has anything to do with the COVID vaccines. Excuse me. Anyway, we'll go back and we'll read the other article. The sudden rise of the died suddenly COVID conspiracy theory. It's titled here, this is The Atlantic. I believe this is News Guard setup, I'm pretty sure of it. The latest anti-vaccine conspiracy theory is taking off easily on platforms that have no interest in shutting it down. Twitter has no answers for #died suddenly by Caitlin Tierney. Shout out. It's not really a shout out from me though, is it? Lisa Marie Presley. Oh. Elvis Presley's daughter. Yeah, she died unexpectedly earlier this month, and within hours, lacking any evidence, Twitter users were suggesting you don't need evidence to suggest something. I believe. Anyway, you can suggest something. They weren't claiming. I mean, I'm sure some were. That her death had been caused by the COVID-19 vaccine. This is the thing that I didn't hear anything about. All I heard was when she passed away, either, oh, that's so sad. She was, how old did it say? I think I heard 76 or something, or she was 80 or something. This is sad. She's an old person. This is what happens. Or there was the conspiracy of, was she vaccinated? Was she not? I'm just like, did any of you hear about Elvis Presley? Like, how did he die? I don't believe he was just getting vaccinated on the toilet. Oh, that's not even funny. But you see what I was getting at. Like, a little word called, I don't know what the word is, hereditary, comes to mind, maybe. So you could rule that one out. I mean, there is, obviously I've seen quite a lot of news that is a bit weird when it comes to this stuff. But that doesn't mean every single time that somebody passes away and they were vaccinated, it doesn't mean that they died from the vaccine. The same way when it came to COVID, when they had COVID within the past 28 days, them getting knocked off a bike and shot in the head didn't mean that they had died from COVID. When a person had been shot in the chest and hung from a tree, that didn't mean, oh no, it did mean they did kill themselves. It was a suicide, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the clinicals. I need to stop mentioning this on these videos. Anyway, maybe I'll read that story next. I might actually do that one. Okay, that's coming next. Stay in tune. It's not a bloody guitar, is it? Stay tuned, that's the one. Anyway, the Twitter account of @DieSuddenly, which has about 250,000 followers, I've clicked on the wrong thing. It now says Grant Wall died of burst blood vessel, his family says. That's a bit of a coincidence that came up. Anyway, also started tweeting about immediately using the hashtag #DieSuddenly. Over the past several months, news stories about any kind of sudden death or grave injury, including the death of a sports journalist Grant Wall, the one I just clicked on, that was probably the link I clicked, and the sudden collapse of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. Was that the one that Sosay appeared at the game again, but was wearing like a hood, a hat, and glasses, and couldn't really tell? And that was another conspiracy within a conspiracy. We have been met with a similar reaction from anti-vaccine activists, though most of the incidents had obvious explanations and almost certainly no connection to the vaccine. Well, exactly. Wasn't that guy hitting the chest with like a was it baseball? No, this was the one who he was tackled well, he was American football tackled right in the heart, where that is here, left side. Yeah. And that could have triggered his heart and made him, nearly die suddenly, basically. Although I did hear some of, was it Pete McCullough or Robert Malone? I always get those two mixed up. One of them was suggesting that it could be a bit of both, but I'm not getting into that just now. It could have been due to the fact that he was tackled. That's what he was suggesting. But it was a bit of a weird moment, the way it was covered in the media. But anyway, I don't watch US American football, so I didn't really quite see a lot of it. A lot of it I was hearing secondhand. Though most of the incidents had obvious explanations, I think I've already read this, which almost certainly no connection to the vaccine, which is an extremely remote risk of causing heart inflammation. The Atlantic. I didn't have you down for conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theorist website, The Atlantic. Let's look up. Now, The Atlantic News Guard Certified. Let's see, shall we? I can't quite see a News Guard's top 10 disinformers. Oh, and top 10 straight shooters with the most online engagement. I'm going down a rabbit hole here, aren't I? Let's see if just by any chance this comes up. Top 10 repeat offenders. Ooh. Breitbart. The Blaze. Epoch Times. Anyway, this has nothing to do with anything on the Gateway Pundit. Anyway. RushLimbaugh.com. I didn't even know that was a website. Of course it is. Oh, that's because I put He Atlantic. I meant to put The Atlantic. My bad. This is a bit of a detour. I'm really sorry. No, they haven't even come up. Or maybe I'll put, is the Atlantic fake news, because saying that there's a risk of heart inflammation, wow, I'm not sure what day and age we're living in anymore. We haven't seen the words. This is them talking about fake news. Anyway, I haven't seen. Oh, hang on. Is the Atlantic magazine considered fake news? Oh, see that light up then? No, they have editorial policy, check facts, etc. Remember that Donald calls everything he disagrees with as fake news or hoax or lie. The only source for hoaxes or fake news, etc., is the Donald Trump himself. Anyway, I'm still doing that. He's a psychopathic liar and has built a lifetime of bankruptcies on his ability to convince people that he's surrounded. There's the Atlantic fake news. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like Trump. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's worth noting that whenever Foreman says Trump again, Donald Trump disliked media coverage, he tended to lash out, claim it's fake news. Okay, well, if Trump claims it's fake news, then that means I'm pretty sure News Guard will claim it is real news. Anyway, let's get back to conspiracy theorists, The Atlantic. Hang on. The most of the incidents have much smaller than the risk of COVID-19 itself. Okay, maybe they've come back a little bit there. The idea that shots are causing mass death have been boosted by the right-wing media figures and a handful of well-known professional athletes. What, like Kyrie Irving and Djokovic, who didn't he win? Yeah, he did win the other day, wasn't it? His tennis, I think he won. I don't know tennis. They are supported by a recent video, Died Suddenly. This is what I wanted them to talk about. So the bill itself as the documentary film of a generation. The hour-long movie has spread unchecked on Rumble. Maybe unchecked by me. I haven't. Actually, I think I watched a couple of minutes. Oh, I've lost my place. A moderation adverse video streaming platform, and Twitter, which abandoned its COVID misinformation policy 2 days after the film premiered in November. Was that when Elon Musk bought the platform? Maybe that's what they're suggesting. It puts forth the familiar conspiracy theory that the vaccines were engineered as a form of population control, illustrated by stomach-turning footage of funeral directors and embalmers removing white fibrous clots that looked like calamari. I wonder if it tasted like calamari. From the corpses of people who have purportedly been vaccinated against COVID-19. There are also some clips of Lee Harvey Oswald and the moon landing for unclear reason. Yeah, that's another criticism I did here, actually. It's just like, believe my conspiracy theory. To convince you of that, here's some things that loads of people don't believe. Or crazy people believe, except, yeah, I'm not saying that those things are crazy, because there's different things. The moon landing, that's one I wouldn't mind talking about in the future. I don't know a lot about the Lee Harvey Oswald CIA John F. Kennedy assassination. I don't know about that, except that there were some documents that came out saying that CIA did do it. I mean, I haven't read it. I didn't look at it myself. It kind of got swept under the rug. But this was the point that I wanted them to cover. I have, illustrated by stomach-turning footage. Died Suddenly has been viewed nearly 20 million times. Jesus. And cheered on by far-right personalities, such as Marjorie Taylor Greene and Candace Owens. It was released by Stu Peters Network, whose other videos on Rumble have titles like Obama formed shadow government before pandemic. Did he? Or was this to do with when he left office? I've heard so much about the Alex Jones talks about, please don't laugh, an airport shutdown for everyone with Jews. It was going so well. It was going so well, Stu Peters Network. This is what ruins everything. You're like, we're doing so well, and then someone just comes in and goes, it's the Jews. And I'm just like, great, now no one's going to believe us on anything. You're going to keep pointing fingers and sounding like the stereotype. And its creators were already asking for donations to fund a sequel, Died Suddenly 2. Which promises to explore deeper rabbit holes. That's what I was going to say, sorry. I want to get into about the whole thing about the excess deaths and stuff and what the links are, because if it's not this, then what is it? And a lot of people will go, well, it's maybe because of something with the lockdowns. Okay, so you're saying it's the lockdowns. Which is it? Have you got another explanation that isn't the vaccines, that isn't the lockdowns? Because I haven't heard like anything, any reason for the whole Died Suddenly stuff and the excess deaths. Can you really forgive people for putting 2 and 2 together? Maybe they're getting 5, maybe they're getting 4. We don't know that. But can you blame? You've got no other alternative. I haven't heard any except obviously COVID itself. But then if these things we are seeing are COVID, then there needs to be an investigation into what the hell it is, because COVID wasn't supposed to just give you a heart attack 5 months down the line. That wasn't what COVID was supposed to do. Nicholas Stumphauser, one of the film's directors, did not respond to questions other than to say that the production team was motivated by a desire to stop the globalist death cult. That's a good enough desire for me anyway. Sorry, this is going on quite a bit. As a meme, Died Suddenly could last a long time. Possibly indefinitely. Oh God, really? Why? What do you know? Why wouldn't they stop dying suddenly? Oh, that's not good. People will always be dying suddenly, so will always be redeployed. Capture further attention. But they weren't dying suddenly before. I don't think people are supposed to die suddenly. Or maybe it's just a new thing that they thought, let's just come up with a new phrase to call people who die suddenly. What to call it, died suddenly. It was happening in the past, but those words weren't being used and put together. That is also a possibility, I do admit. Let's just keep reading. What's more, there is a thriving alt-tech ecosystem that can circulate the meme. Whole cohort of right-wing, anti-vaccine influencers and celebrities who could amplify it. Am I one of those? Let's see. maybe I'm not. There was like 2 people watching this, so it's about it. Crucially, basically unmoderated mainstream social media platform that can put it in front of hundreds of millions of users. Let's move this just a little bit so you can, I don't know, why not? Sorry, I've lost my place again. It's just like when I was reading on when I was in school, we'd all read the books. I'd read on way ahead of everyone else. And then it would come my turn to read out in front of the class, and I'd be like, where are we? And like, this page. I'm like, oh, cool. Sometimes I keep my finger on the page, and but then I would no idea what line they're on. Teacher's like, you even reading the book? It's like, way ahead. Anyway, that's not the point. Crucially, basically, blah, 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 in front of hundreds of millions of users, some of whom will make fun of it, but others of whom will start to see something unsettling and credible in its repetitions. Yeah. Unsettling, credible in its repetitions. What is most startling about the Died Suddenly documentaries is not its argument, but the way people are watching it. What, on Rumble? Maybe I will buy that Rumble stock. Died Suddenly is the first move to premiere on Twitter. Ooh, since your friendly takeover, the official Died Suddenly account. Died Suddenly tweeted at Elon Musk. I was waiting for his name to come in. Oh, okay. Now it's time to drink. The account has a blue check mark next to it. Really? A symbol that is now used to indicate some kind of trustworthiness. Someone's bitter, aren't they? But now indicates a willingness to pay a monthly fee. Oh no, now everyone could just pay for what I originally had. Anyway, when at Died Suddenly first uploaded the movie in full on Twitter, it was labelled as misleading. In accordance with the COVID-19 misinformation policies that were then in place on the site, the label was soon removed on November 23rd, the same day Twitter stopped enforcing rules about COVID-19 misinformation, including posts stating that the vaccines intentionally cause mass death. Twitter, like many platforms, has now spent the past decade refining its content moderation policies. Now it is randomly throwing them out. Well, I think there is some kind of truth in that, because I've heard a lot of weird things going on Twitter recently. I haven't heard too much, but I've just heard that it's just dying. Like, not literally, but no one's talking about the platform. Maybe I should go back on and have a look. Jing Zheng, a researcher at the University of Zurich, began her work on Twitter and conspiracy theories in 2018. She noted a major transformation in response to the pandemic and the rise of QAnon, especially since the start of COVID. All capital letters there for some reason. Twitter has been active in deplatforming conspiracy theory related accounts, she told me. A lot of conspiracy theorists moved to fringe sites where they had trouble rebuilding the huge audience they had on Twitter. This is a ramble. But now their time in the desert may be over. I don't even know what I'm reading anymore. Twitter under Elon Musk has been giving a signal to the communities of conspiracy theorists that Twitter's door might be open to them again. Ooh, Zhang said. Oh my God, there's more. I'm probably not going to, I shouldn't waste your time with all of this. The anti-vaccine movement is always poised to take advantage of such opportunities. Oh, is it? Why? Are people gaining lots of money on it? If so, I'm ready. It's all Bill Gates. It's all Bill Gates. Give me the money. Anyway, absent any moderation on Twitter. Anti-vaxxers are once again free to experiment wildly with their messaging. Oh, if you'll pardon the pun. According to Tamar Genasa, a health communication professor at the University of New Mexico, who published a paper earlier in the pandemic about how vaccine-related content traveled on Twitter and YouTube. Enough people are sharing this and enough content is being made that it's taking off. I really don't want them talking about how they documenting loads of people who they claim are anti-vaxxers. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because there doesn't seem to be much more. But actually, sorry, there is a lot more. This just keeps going on. Oh, it has ended now. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. But thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. It'd be nice if I could have one like on one video. And yeah, so thanks for watching. If you made it this far, then well, no one made it this far. But anyway, thanks, and I'll catch you in the next video.